Hello again. When I was a little boy, I don't know, I just have a lot of memories when I was a kid. It might have been the most interesting point of my life. And like I said in the earlier videos, I got picked on a lot when I was a little boy, like when I was 8 and then whatever, but because I was one of the weaker kids, I was really nice to everybody. I just seemed like a pushover, and I didn't know how to fight until I was like 9 or 8 or something like that. I don't know, but when I like the first time I my mom I the first time I started living in the cities with my mom, it was the first time I experienced like going to a new school, and in elementary it was elementary school, so everybody, there was classes, but like every class had its bully. Every class would have its toughest kid, and he would always, like, whenever a new kid would show up, he would have to flex his shit and go fuck with him. And I was the new kid, and he came and started picking on me, and I just wasn't having it that day. Like, I never got into fights before that, but I just wasn't having it that day because it was my first day of school, and I did not want to immediately just be picked on all this. Like, I just hated it. Like, I hated the thought of just immediately starting off in my new school, starting off being picked on all the time and whatnot. So I just wasn't having it. So I punched him in the face. Like, I just abruptly struck him in the face. I didn't even let him finish the sentence. And the way he approached me and the tone of his voice, I knew he was just gonna fuck with me. So I just immediately punched him in the face. His nose started bleeding and he fell to the ground. And he got right back up, ready to face me. And the teacher showed up to start the class, so he didn't hit me, we all stopped and went back to our seats, thankfully. Because he probably would have whooped me or something. And this gave me, like, after that happened, I gained popularity real quick. Everybody was like, holy crap, he's one of the toughest kids in the school. Like, don't mess with that guy, he's pretty cool. And like, this gave me all sorts of, I became, I became a little different. Like, I would, from that day on, I wouldn't really take anybody's crap. Something different happened, and it changed me. Like, I got a little full of myself somewhat, and I was like, maybe I am a tough guy. And I used to grow up with my grandma in like a small village, and once I moved in with my mom, I would visit my grandma every time school was out for summer. So every year I would go visit my grandma for a month or something. And there was this when I used to live with my grandma, there was this one fucking kid. He was the town's bully. The whole town, like, everybody knew him as being the toughest kid. And he was just a jerk off. He was a jerk. He wasn't very polite to anybody. He just thought he was the shit. And like, he picked on me almost every day. On the way to school, like, there were no school buses. Like, this is Korea back, and like, they might have school buses now, but I kind of doubt it. But we didn't have school buses, so we would all have to walk to school, which would take, depending on how far you live. Like, I lived kind of far, so I always had to walk like 30 minutes, and it was really lame. And during those 30 minutes, this fucking kid would come and pick on me and beat me up for my lunch money or something. Like he really liked going to the arcades, so he would always beat me up for money. And oftentimes I wouldn't put up a fight and just kind of give him the money before he struck me. And this mean kid's name, I forgot how to say it in Korean, but it literally translated to dragon. His name was literally Dragon. His parents were expecting him to be really tough, and he was. And so I got a little full of myself, like after I beat down that one, after I punched that one kid at the first day of school, that's when I started thinking about Dragon a lot. I was like, you know, next time Dragon messes up there, I'm gonna fucking strike him too without him even expecting it. So the very and that was around the time, like when I got to the cities, I immediately joined the Taekwondo school because my mom wanted me to, and so I practiced Taekwondo for like pretty close to a year. Like I practiced nonstop because I was just thinking about Dragon. I was just like, I'm gonna show him what the fuck is going on now, and like, so I practiced pretty good, pretty hard, and I ended up becoming a red belt, which is pretty close to black belt. And when you become a red belt, the color red means danger, like you're actually a dangerous person now. So I was like, cool, I'm a dangerous person now. All right, and like, so I went I went back to my grandma's village as usual on the summer, and surely enough, Dragon came to pick on me. And we always hung out in groups, like every time we ate, like every kid in the village, there was like 8 of us or something, and we would always hang out together. And we would just hang out in the woods catching butterflies or some shit like that. And Dragon started picking on me, and all the kids were like, dude, he just got here, like you really gotta do this already. And like and he just wouldn't stop picking on me, and I went to punch him in the face. And I had the complete jump on him. It was supposed to be my ambush, but surprisingly, Dragon was completely ready for this. And he dodged my punch and he knocked me down instead. And this surprised everybody. Everybody was like, holy crap, Song threw a punch. And Dragon was like, whoa, I didn't know you were gonna, like, he was surprised too, but he did counter me. And I stood right back up, attempting to hit him again, and I started punching at him so much, and he dodged every one of it, and he kept on knocking me down. But I was determined. I really wanted to fucking beat up Dragon today. Like, I was very pissed. And I got knocked down over and over and over again. And I just wouldn't stop. Like, I was not gonna stop until I beat him. And I ran at, like, one of the things I did, I ran at him screaming, and I did a jump kick, and he kicked me out of the sky with a freaking sidekick like it was a movie or something. And I got blasted backwards, and I rolled across the floor like I was a Tekken character. And the fight went on forever. He beat me up for like a good 30 minutes. I'm not even kidding. For 30 minutes, he was just beating me up, and I didn't land a single strike on him. And eventually, Dragon gave up. Like, he started crying, and he walked away crying. It was just like, this is bullshit. Like, he literally said, this is bullshit. I'm fucking going home. And he started crying and went home. And all the kids came over and congratulated me. They were like, "Oh my God, Song, you're so fucking tough." And yeah, that's the story of something. Like, ever since that was a pretty important day for me. Although I clearly did not win. That was a very important day. Like, ever since then, nobody could keep me down in a fight. Nobody.